Something very interesting happened in the floor of the House today, and that is not something you can often say. Well, the Democrats have been greatly frustrated. The Republicans refuse to even have a vote on two pieces of legislation on guns that the Democrats have proposed. One is simple: hey, the terrorist watch list, the no-fly list. Guys who are on that, we think are suspected terrorists. We won't even let them anywhere near a plane. But right now, we allow them to buy any kind of weaponry they want, just like anybody else. So they're too dangerous to be on your plane, but they're not too dangerous to have an AR-15 right next to your head and right next to your family. That's insanity. But further insanity is you're not even allowed to debate it in the floor of the House. What do you think, we have a democracy? No, so the majority decides, and they've decided, no, we're not even going to have a vote on it. Federal background checks, overwhelmingly popular, not going to have a vote on it. So the Democrats did something interesting. John Lewis, legendary civil rights leader, who has done many sit-ins in his life, decided, you know what, we're going to do a sit-in on literally the floor of the House. Now, before he did that, he started speaking. We're going to show you a piece of that right here. And then at some point, you will see throughout his speech that other Democrats started to come up. At this point, nobody knows what's going on. They're like, why are other congressmen coming up while John Lewis is speaking? So it was a really interesting, dramatic moment. And then how did the Republicans block it? I'll tell you afterwards. So let's watch first.
I would ask that all of my colleagues join me on the floor. For months, even for years, through several sessions of Congress, I wondered what would bring this body to take action. What would finally make Congress do what is right, what is just, what the people of this country have been demanding, and what is long overdue. We have lost hundreds and thousands of innocent people to gun violence. Tiny little children, babies, students, and teachers, mothers and fathers, sisters and brothers, daughters and sons, friends and neighbors. And what has this body done? Mr. Speaker, nothing. Not one thing. We have turned a deaf ears. We have turned deaf ears to the blood of the innocent and the concern of our nation. We are blind to a crisis. Mr. Speaker, where is the heart of this body? Where is our soul? Where is our moral leadership? Where is our courage?
John Lewis speaks of this powerfully, as you just saw. And then what happens next? Well, okay, we turn to the Huffington Post now. As another Democrat began to speak, the Republican lawmaker sitting in the chair gavelled the House into a temporary recess until noon. The House cut off the C-SPAN cameras that normally broadcast the floor. The reason we don't have any more video is because when they went to go sit down on the floor of the House, and they literally sat down, we're going to show you pictures in a second, it turns out they just cut the C-SPAN cameras. Because the party who's in control says, okay, we're in recess. Once you're in recess, that's it. The cameras are off. So we're not going to show you anything more, and we're not going to show the country anything more. You're not only not going to get a vote, you're also not going to be seen by anyone on TV. Okay, we control everything. So now when asked about this, Ryan spokesperson Ashley Strong said, the House cannot operate without members following the rules of the institution. So the House has recessed subject to the call of the chair, meaning the chair will decide to do whatever he damn well pleases, and the Democrats should learn how to bow in submission. Well, they are not. So they're now using the hashtag on social media, no bill, no break, because part of what they're going to do is they're going to continue to do this. They're going to do it tomorrow as well, according to what they have said. And they're going to make sure that they are heard on this. And not only are they disrupting the proceedings here because otherwise they literally have no voice, but they're saying we also don't want you to take a break. Because you know how the House loves to take breaks. The politicians are like, oh my God, we didn't vote on anything this week either, right? Let's take a break for a couple of weeks. They're going to try to stop that. That's when it gets real. They're like, wait, you won't let us take our 18-week break we were planning? No way. This is very serious now. Oh, people being murdered in the streets day in, day out. Thousands of them. 100,000 people shot by guns since Newtown. I don't really care about that. But wait, I got summer vacation coming up, okay? So I want to show you the sit-in. So here's some of the pictures that have come out about it. And what I love about it is it's blacks, it's whites, it's men, it's women, it's all the Democrats that have gotten together and that are doing this together in a show of solidarity, saying this is the only way that we can strike back. And of course, Steve Cohen in the mix there too, great civil rights fighter, congressman from Tennessee. Okay, now let me give you more details about what they're about to do. According to multiple aides and lawmakers, Democrats will try to essentially hijack the House floor both Wednesday and Thursday in an effort to get gun control measures a hearing. Again, the Republicans say, how dare they, in breaking the rules like that, which, by the way, is exactly what they said during the Civil Rights era. Martin Luther King and his rabble-rousers and his northern agitators, they're breaking the rules. How dare they? Why don't they know their role, which is that they have no rights? Well, here the Democrats, being in the minority, since none of their legislation can be introduced, they have no rights. What other option do they have? So they say that ultimately the goal is to force lawmakers to go on the record on a bipartisan bill that would grant the FBI and the Attorney General the authority to ban people on the no-fly list from buying firearms. So that's the terrorist watch list, the no-fly list. Again, think about it, man. If I said to you, there's a guy on a no-fly list that's a suspected terrorist, the right wing says, oh, you don't know that. There's no due process. There's no due process. So 1% of the time, or maybe even as high as 3% of the time, there could be sometimes errors. By the way, that's not backed up by anything, but they'll say things like that. You want to take a 97% chance that the guy going on the plane might be a terrorist? Well, you wouldn't take that chance. That's why it's a no-fly list. But you would take the chance of giving him an assault weapon and having him be in your neighborhood, in your movie theater, in your church, in your kid's school? Like, I wouldn't get on a plane with that guy. That's why we have the no-fly list. But please give him an assault weapon so he can kill us all. That's the current law in America, and we can't even get a vote on it. There's one other issue. There's also another bill to expand background checks on gun sales. So, hey, who are you? We need to know just a tiny little check to see who you are before we allow you to buy this killing machine. Now, are the Democrats doing this because they're in the minority? They don't have people on their side. You can go ahead and shout all you want, but the majority loves guns in America. So your bills aren't going to win it. They're not popular anyway. Really? No, that's not how America works. In reality, the bills that the Democrats are proposing are enormously popular. We just don't have a Congress that represents the American people. How popular? Let me show you. Here's the polling. Ban on gun sales for people on the no-fly list, on the terrorist watch list. 85% of Americans are in favor of that, because 85% of Americans don't want to be killed by a terrorist. The other 15% are like, I don't know, maybe. 14% actually. It has 85% approval rating. It can't even get a vote. You think that's high? Expanded background checks? 92% are in favor of that. 92% of Americans want it. The House won't even vote on it. Do you think this is a democracy? They did the original sit-in during the Civil Rights Movement because they didn't have democracy. Maybe white people did, but black people didn't. They were denied the vote in the South. Well, then they don't have democracy. So you got to do what you got to do. You have to do civil disobedience. You have to do sit-ins. And in this case, 92% of Americans don't have democracy anymore. They don't give a damn what you think because they don't work for you. They're not your representatives. They represent the people who put them in Congress. They're donors. In this case, those are the gun manufacturers. They don't mind the shootings. The shootings are done with their product. And then you get scared and you buy more of their product. Those shootings, they're great for business. And you know what? You got to keep that business going. You write a couple of checks to Republican congressmen and sometimes Democrats too. Well, these Democrats obviously greatly principled, doing the right thing. Sometimes what they'll call moderate Democrats or conservative Democrats. No, they're bought Democrats. They also got a check from the NRA, who got a check from gun manufacturers to keep on that killing machine revving along so they make more money. Does this look like a democracy to you? You got to get the money out of politics, otherwise you'll never get the guns off the streets or any other thing that the American people want. Hey, listen, if it turns out you get the money out of politics and conservatives win on most of the gun rights issues, they're not going to win on terrorist fly list with a 85% disapproval rating on the Republican position on that. They're not going to win on the background checks, but they'll win on many gun issues. That's okay. That's a democracy. Let's have that conversation. Let's have that debate. Progressives will win on some things. Conservatives will win on some things. Right now, you're not even allowed to have that conversation because the only thing that talks is money.